Flosstube friends? It's time for another episode, a good morning episode. How is everybody this awesome Friday? It's time for another fun Friday Flosstube weekly update with me. I am Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, both here on YouTube and over on Instagram. And you have reached my channel and video about cross stitch and other crafty endeavors. So, this is Flosstube number 107. And it is Friday, June the 4th. Yay! We're in June. And the elephant in the room is that I have very little hair left on my head. As I shared with you in my video last week, I was going to be getting my hair cut, and I did. I got all of them cut. And I love it. It's so awesome for summer. It's literally like wash and go or wash and blow dry a little, but it's so good. So good. So thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Thank you to my returning friends, my Flosstube friends. That's kind of what I call my subscribers, are my Flosstube friends. And if you've recently found me, welcome. This is my corner of the cross stitch world. And I am excited to have you here, whether you've been here for 107 plus videos or just a few. So, what do we have on the docket for today? We have some of what I worked on. I do have a finish, yay. And I think I started one new thing this week. I have no Joy-Filled Stashy Stash again this week. However, I do believe that my floss of the month from Forbidden Fiber Co. has shipped. And so I will have that next week. Yay! So yeah, that's kind of all we've got going on in terms, and a little bit of life update thrown in here and there. So let's see, life update. Friday was my last day of work, and then we had Memorial Day weekend. My husband was off on that Monday. Sunday, we went and bought all of the stuff that Joy-Filled Little One needs for a softball camp, and that was totally up my husband's alley. He was super pumped about it. He loves baseball, and I played softball, and so I was excited to kind of see what there was in the world of softball gear now. So she got all the softball gear. We also got her some new tennis shoes, which she can now wear a lady size 6. Insert tears wanting to run down my face. Although from what I understand, that's the same as a kid's 4. So if you are a woman or a person with small feet, like size 6, you can wear kid shoes and save yourself some money. But the one thing I've noticed is, say at like Academy, they stopped selling the youth shoes at a size 3 and start selling the adult shoes at a size 6, thereby making it impossible to buy kids' shoes in store in a size 4. So that's okay though, because we also found a pair yesterday at Marshall's for $24, Adidas, brand new, super cool looking, in a youth size 4. So clearly somebody's selling youth sizes beyond a 3 or 3.5. And then this week she has had, so for those who are new, Joy-Filled Little One is my daughter. She is 9, almost 9.5, she will tell you. She just finished the 3rd grade, and I lovingly refer to her as Joy-Filled Little One. So she's had swim lessons this week, and we think that now her stroke is the backstroke. She's really good at it, like really good. And like from the get-go. So yeah, we today's the last day of swim lessons. I've gotten a little bit of stitching, a little bit of some like organizational type things going, like not actually in practice. This has kind of been just a like reset myself from the school year into the summer. And we actually are going to have a little bit of a longer summer. They have a couple of building projects going on at our school, and so we're going to start 2 weeks later. The first day for kids is August 30th. So it'll kind of be like the old way of schools, which is you didn't start until like practically Labor Day or even after Labor Day, and you got out before Memorial Day, because we will still get out before Memorial Day next year. So super pumped about a bit of a longer summer. We've got we're kind of still acquiring all the things for camp in July for her. So yeah, I have gotten some stitching in. Like I said, I've got some things I worked on, one thing I started and one thing I finished. So yeah, and I'll share a little bit about plans of what I kind of plan on stitching coming up in the coming weeks. We are in June, so there were new WIPGO numbers chosen. WIPGO is a fantastic idea that Jessie Marie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff came up with a couple years ago. She released it to the cross stitch community in the form of a Facebook group and her posts on Instagram. Last year in 2020, I did not do well with my WIPGO 2020. I talked a little bit more at length about that in last week's video, about how I set my goals the wrong way. I am a progress stitcher, not a finish stitcher. And so, although I'm kind of shifting my focus as of recent. And so I had all of mine last year as finishes. This year I'm doing it as days worked on the projects. So I'll share with you what my WIPGO projects are for June. Only have one project with a birthday this month. And so yeah, let's dive right into showing you some projects. How about that? So I randomly pulled out yesterday this project to work on, and I'm close to a finish. I'm going to work a little bit more on it today and see what I can get done, because it's fill-in stitching. So this is Lizzie Kate. This is one of her snippets, and this is Nutcracker Sleds. So I am doing this one right here in the middle. I am stitching this for my brother for Christmas. He has a Nutcracker collection. I am stitching it on the perforated paper because I am going to be putting it on a sled. So I'm going to put this behind and see. And so I am just down to the green fill-in. So yeah, I'm just kind of working through that. And then there is a charm that goes on the hat. It's a tiny little gold star. And so I think I'm going to be adding that. I haven't decided yet. We shall see. And so I think this should be finished by the time next week, and fully finished, because I am mounting it on one of the sleds. So yes, I just have this in one of those little Amazon small size project bags, so it's easy to like just toss in my purse, just toss wherever. So I did work on that. I'm trying to figure out where to put my projects. There we go. All right, so this is my finish. I just randomly pulled this out because I was like, I just kind of want to finish something. And so let me grab the picture cover image. This is Christmas Alphabet. Pardon me. This is from Cecilia Turner of Heart and Hand Designs. She released this as a freebie in a Facebook group called Candy Cane Stitchers. And so I am stitching this on, what am I stitching this on? Let's see, 28 count, picture this plus, Crystal Rin Lugana. So it's this shimmery sparkly. And I did a couple of changes. So the first change that I did is, instead of stitching the letters in the called for brown, I did Carriage Black from Gentle Arts. The second change that I did is, instead of doing the French knots, I did black beads. The third change that I did is I stitched J, O, and Y in red instead of the Carriage Black. So that is my finish. I love the shimmeriness of it. I don't know how I'm going to finish it yet, but I think it's cute. And I think I will probably put it in my classroom, because, you know, alphabets, teacher, classroom. So for those who are new, I am an elementary school teacher. And so yeah. And I had this one in a gallon-sized baggie for a while, but now it's in it lives, or did live, in a Love You More Studio Co sleeve. So now I need to unkit this and reserve this sleeve for something else. So last week I showed this project, and I did work some more on it. I think I actually met my day goal for WIPGO. So this is my Blackbird Designs Garden Club series. So I am stitching 4 of them in like a 2x2 grid. And so last week I shared that I had finished Basket of Cherries, and I was going to start Apple Orchard. And actually, I guess you could count this as a finish because I finished Apple Orchard. So this is on 18 count Colonnade Ada from, is that right that it's on Colonnade? I think so. No, 18 count, I've been saying this wrong. This is on 18 count Spectre from Color and Cotton. So I now have 2 of my squares done. So this is the one I showed last week, and then I'll get a little bit more in depth into this one. So this is Apple Orchard. Now I'm doing this with flosses from my own conversion. However, they are close to the called for. I just kitted it from stash. And so that is the finished product. I love how it turned out. So I have 2 more to stitch. I have Butterfly Garden, which I love. They stitched it as 2 smalls seamed together in the middle. And it says, County of Jackson is my home, but I will rechart that to my county. And then Fairy Garden, which I love this with the large garden and the little tiny fairy house. I think that's so cute. I can't wait to stitch those 2. So for now, this is going to go away. It had its birthday for the year already, and I met my WIPGO goal for the year. So it might come back out if I just am itching to stitch on it. And so, yeah. And actually, Joyful Little One is on the other side of the screen. She is showing me a note right now that she gets why I stitched Joy in red. You're good, kid. So, anywho, let's see. I also worked on, just towards the end of the month, as I had finished out, or was finishing out my days on Garden Club for WIPGO, and I kind of wanted to get like some time on another project, or just to break up the monotony just a scotch. I pulled out this one. I started this one on May 19th for my 2-year Flosstube anniversary of being on Flosstube. And this is Libra. It is by Satsuma Street. And I love this stitch. I am stitching it on 18 count Ada. It's just navy Ada with the called for DMC. And I've gotten quite a bit done. So let me put a piece of paper behind here. And it's smaller than I thought it was going to be because I clearly cut my fabric a bit too big. But I finished out all but there's one stitch right here of the balance scale, and it's a color that comes into one of the baskets, so I'm just waiting to do that one at the same time. So I finished out the arm of the balance scale, or whatever you call this, the pedestal. And then actually I think there's one more color down here at the base. And then I went ahead and did all the green of the vines, and I love this. And all of that is just fantastic shading of the DMC. And that's why I have not in doing Satsuma Streets, because I also have the 12 Days of Christmas that I need to pull back out. She's fantastic with taking DMC and creating that shading, which is so cool. So I don't do anything with colors on these. I don't change the colors on these. All right, so I pulled this one off the hoop. I'm not done working on it because this is one of my June WIPGOs. And so I need to put in 14 days. However, I already have 1 day because it's had its birthday this year. So I have 13 days slotted this month to work on this project. And so this is Great Is Thy Faithfulness. And this is by My Big Toe Designs. I have it in a smaller size pouch. And so the large chart, because it's a full size chart, does not fit in this one. So I just took and laminated a copy of the cover image. I am using the four colors that were charted are Gentle Arts. And when I started this back in January of 2020, yes, January of 2020, all 4 of them were out of stock, like leading all up to it in December of 2019. Like I started to try to kit this and they were Gentle Arts that were out of stock. And so I kitted it with just 4 overdyes that are close. So you've got kind of this greeny, this light blue. I am doing the main letters are in this Color and Cotton Chimney Sweep, which I love. It's like a bluish gray. And then I have a pinky red. Excuse me. And this is on an 18 count from Mystic Fabrics. It's just a mystery die, but I love it. And so I worked and finished out stitching the Faithfulness because I had a few letters over here. I have also stitched both of the florals motifs over here. And yesterday I did, so I've only stitched on this 2 days, this rotation. And I finished out Faithfulness. I believe I stitched just these 2 letters were all that were left. I stitched this. And then yesterday I did all of this. So I've either done 2 or 3 days. I think it's only been, yeah, it's only been 2. I will finish this before the 14-day mark or the 13-day mark this month because I almost am finished with this lettering. And then what I will do is I will go and do the bottom border mirrors the top border. So I will do the scallops first. And then I will start filling in the details. So there's a chance I could be finished with this next week. I have a ton of this fabric left. And so I love it. And I love the variegation in Chimney Sweep. How the gradient goes from light to dark. And so I love this hem. I love this piece. I'm excited to have this finished. And this will be a framed piece. And I'll just frame it myself. It might be close to a standard frame. I'm getting a thumbs up from the peanut gallery. All right, so those are, yeah, okay. So this is my new start. And this is in a Gigantor bag from the Fat Quarter Shop. I decided when I saw Kimberly on their Flosstube sharing a while back about Flea Market Flowers, I love this. And so I was excited to get this in and to start it. So they are doing a stitch along. It started on June 2nd and runs all the way throughout the month. So June 2nd is these 2 blocks right here. I loved her idea of stitching it on the pale gray gingham fabric. I love me a pattern fabric from Fabric Flares. So I purchased that from them. So I will show you my progress, and then I'll talk to you about my colors. So I started this on June 2nd, and I've gotten this much done. So it is going to be huge because this is 14 count Aida. You can see the gingham. I love this. So again, this is 14 count pale gray gingham I purchased it on Fat Quarter Shop. It is from Fabric Flare. So it's printed. So like the back is stark white, which I love this. And so I put in my outer borders of the 2 squares I'm going to be doing, or they're not squares. That's a square, that's a rectangle. And then I started in on this motif up here. I did the center motif, and then I'm working on just color completing. And then I will do the 3 flowers down here. So I have until June 9th. Oh, she's releasing every week. Okay. I have until June 9th. I would like to keep up with this. Historical reference from my video says I won't. But I'm going to try because I'm really enjoying this. I love the big blocks of color, and I love my color conversion. So the called for is either Weeks Dye Works or DMC. Well, I'm not a huge fan of Weeks Dye Works. Y'all know this if you've watched for any length of time. For some reason, I just am not a big fan of the fact that they come in one skein and you have to cut them, and because it's 5, you don't get yard lengths, and I like yard length. And I had a bad experience with it knotting up and like losing an entire skein because of knotting up, like while stitching. So I decided, okay, well, let me look at the DMC. And then I was like, well, let's go fancy. Because if I have all these fancy flosses, why not use them? So I have kind of a mix of brands here. So I'm going to show you what I'm using. And this is in the order that they are in the chart. So for the red color, I am using Color and Cotton Red Woolen Mittens. There's kind of a pinky red, and I am using Color and Cotton Rosebud. For the kind of corally color, I am using Classic Colorworks Crab Cake, and that is actually what this motif is stitched in. I love the variegation of that. There's a light pink, and I'm using Color and Cotton Salmon. It's kind of a corally light pink. And then there's kind of a medium pink, and this is Color and Cotton Petal. So lots of beautiful pinks and reds. For the one orange, I'm using Color and Cotton Tiger Lily. For the yellow, I'm using Color and Cotton Buttercup. There are 3 greens, so I'm using Color and Cotton Garland. Color and Cotton, it's a mystery. It was from Grab Bag. So it's like a medium green. And then Forbidden Fiber Co.'s Celery, which is so fun. There's a couple of teals. So the first one I'm using is a Mauve Sail. This is a silk. So you can mix your silks and cottons. At least I say you can. And this is in the colorway Verdant. So it's this really pretty, bright, peacocky teal color. And then for the other one, I am using Color and Cotton Mermaid's Folly. So this one actually has quite a bit of variegation, but I don't care. I love it. Been wanting a project to use this on, so I'm super excited. All right, so then for the 3 blues, Color and Cotton Powder Blue, Color and Cotton Pacific Blue, or just Pacific, and Color and Cotton Sapphire. And then we've got a couple of like browns. So the lighter brown, this is a Color and Cotton Mystery. I'm kind of thinking it's either fawn or Americano. I'm not 100% sure. I kind of just looked to see what was on their site. So, but it's this really pretty, super variegated, light taupey brown. And then one of the main colors, like for all the borders and then also in the motifs, is, well, it's DMC 08. And I have had a lot of that color. Excuse me. But it's being called for more and more. So it calls for 2 skeins of it. So I decided I'm going to do my borders, and I have like a ton. I don't know why I even have this smaller one, because this is a 10-yard skein. But I am using Gentle Arts maple syrup for the border. And then I thought, I'm going to mix things up. So for the brown that's in the chart itself, the flowers itself, I'm using this incredible, this is from Color and Cotton, and this is arugula. And so it's got that brown in it, but it's mixed with a lavendery purple. And so there's no purple in here. And I thought, So I love how this is going to variegate. We're going to see. It may be a total train wreck, and I may be ripping it out. But I really liked the idea of this because I've been wanting to use this one. As you can see, I have some of these that I've had since they were on the older brown tags that like need to be used because they're beautiful. So I'm super pumped about my color palette. It's bright, it's vibrant, it's perfect for spring summer stitching. So yeah, I'm excited about getting some more progress on this, pulling in some more of the colors, getting them all going. So yeah, this is the bag from Fat Quarter Shop that went with, I think, the Just My Type, but I wanted to put this in a fun bag, and so it's in this gigantic bag. So that's all she wrote for what I stitched on. So I am kind of sticking with more monogamous stitching, kind of, as I called it, hybrid monogamy. So let me quickly dive into a few planned things for this month. So my other Whip Go piece for this month is Autumn Tree by Hello from Liz Matthews. I love this. This is on Color and Cotton 18 Count River Rock, and I am stitching it with a Belle Soie. A Belle Soie in Harvest, which is a beautiful variegated brown silk. And I have a little bit of a start. I started this last October when I was doing all the birthday starts. So I have the top little sailboat. So I need to get back to this, and I will this month because it is a Whip Go, and its goal is 14 days this year. So I have it slotted for 14 days. We'll see if I get the 14 days. I think I will. The project with a birthday this month. So on the 9th, I will be stitching on this, and maybe a few days in and out and around it, is United We Stand by Teresa Kogut. I started this last year in support of the hashtag Representation Matters Sal and the hashtag Diversity and Inclusion Sal. This is in an awesome bag that one of my Flosstube friends, Mandy, sent me that she made. It says Joy. I love it. And this is on 27 Count Linda from Be Stitch Me in Through the Stones. And it's going to be huge because I'm doing it 2 strands over 2. but I love it. I've got a lot of dress to fill in on both girls. So yeah, I don't know exactly where I'm going to go yet with it, but I just love, love, love these colors. So I did a bit of a color conversion. Just kitted it from Stash. I wouldn't say a color conversion. I kitted it from Stash. And I went a little bit brighter on my reds. Teresa goes a little more prim. I went a little bit more bright patriotic. So that's also going to come out for at least one day this month. And then I had this idea because I've been watching, and there's a couple of the people that I watch that are doing 25/7, where they take a project and they work on it for 25 stitches or 25 minutes. And I thought, what project do I need to get a lot of days in and I want to see more progress on because it's a 2019 whip? That would be Rosetta by Ink Circles. So let me show you the chart, the cover image. So this is Rosetta by Ink Circles. It was stitched all in, I believe, Gloriana. I can't tell. But I believe it was all in one color of silk. Those of you that have been around for a little bit, I have not had this out in a while, will remember I am stitching this in a rainbow color scheme with all of the outside borders and inner medallions in Gentle Arts Cinders, which is one of my favorite colors. Shout out to Carla Rolodex, who also loves cinders. And it's on 20 count snert from Mystic Fabrics. And so this is where I am so far. So you can see each of the larger rose windows, because I think these look like rose windows from churches, are in a different color. And so they're starting with the browns and working their way. This is an opalescent, and I'm doing one strand over one square. So I think I'm going to put this on. I usually put this one on a large Q-snap. Or my large hoop, we'll see. And I think I'm just going to start plugging away. I think I'm going to do 20 minutes. We'll see. Because I don't, or 25 minutes. But anyway, I'm going to start trying to tick away some on this. So it's in a really pretty bag from a seller on Stash Unloading. Her name is Shirley, and she makes these really pretty patchwork. And this is all Liberty fabrics, which I love. So yeah, those are some of my plans. So like I said, I do not have any Joy-Filled Stash show. I'm sorry, there's no Joy-Filled Stashy Stash this time. But maybe next time. Hopefully next time. So I have some stitching I want to get accomplished. I have some things I need to get done in the house. Kind of just put the house back together from the end of the school year. I am planning to go through all of my whips with a discerning eye. I would say that there will probably be some D-stash coming at some point. I can't say when, but if you go follow me over on Instagram at joy.filled.dstash, that's where I put all of my stuff on D-stash. So we'll see when that's going to happen. I'm not sure yet. And so yeah, we've just kind of got some things that we need to tackle around the house. I've got some work that I need to complete for my part-time job, which is the bookkeeper for my mom's business. And so yeah, and then some stitching in the interim. So with that being said, let's share one of the final Teresa Kogut Angel Kindness cards. We have almost made it 52 weeks on these. We are almost done with the box of amazing Angel Kindness cards. And so this week we have this lovely angel, and I love how she's almost got like, mermaid is very in our house, unicorns, you know, unicorn, all the kind of that ombre rainbow look, and her halo kind of has that. So I think she's super fantastic. I think she's beautiful. I love that Teresa has found a way to share 52 weeks of her art with us in this just compact size. And so this says, always have faith that the angels will guide you toward making the right choices. I don't really think I need to add anything to that, into that sentiment. I agree with it wholeheartedly. Trust is big with my faith, and I know that not everybody shares that, that same sentiment. So if you don't, and you just stick around for the pretty, like, beautiful piece of art, please do that. And you know, it is what it is. It's what you make of it. So, wishing you a happy June. We are in June, fully ensconced at about 4 days in. Excited about getting some stitches in now that school is over and I can be more rested and more focused. I need to get back on the Peloton a bit more and do some biking. And I know I have a review coming of that. And I also have promised a review of my car. So we'll get to those eventually. I got to figure out how to film those because I am not a car filming person nor a fitness equipment filming person. I typically am a sit and chat with you person. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we've got kind of just some stuff. Like, honestly, I think we don't even have doctor's appointments until July. So it's going to kind of be just kind of a chill June, which is awesome. So with that, I hope you get some X's in your projects and or backstitch or specialty stitches or whatever you're doing. Or maybe you're doing some knitting. Enjoy your knitting. Enjoy your crafty endeavors. And with that, I will bid you a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you next Friday. And I will say, I forgot hugs until now, so we're going to get our hugs in. So we got a hug on this side, and we got a hug on this side, and then we'll hug ourselves. I'm keeping you on your toes. Actually, I just completely, it slipped my mind. Shame on me. But we got him in. We got him in. So I will now say, so long, stitch well. I'll see you soon, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, and I will see you next Friday.